Let me tell you something about me. I used to chase boys. And when I say chase, I mean I used to chase down two twins because I wanted them to be my boyfriend when I was like 6 or 7 years old. I still remember their name. Their name was like Marquise and Maurice. And no one could tell me that they wasn't gonna be my boyfriends. Like both of them, yes, when I was 7 years old. I thought it would be like a rom-com, but instead it wasn't actually cute. And you know, for a long time, being a woman that was super green as grass and like a teenager that was extremely green, um, you know, I thought that to get someone, you have to chase and go get him and go fetch him. Just be the dog catcher out here when it comes to certain guys. And does this tender charm work on some guys? Sometimes. Well, yes, but not all the freaking time. Because chasing is not really charming. And, you know, with so many other things, you know, regarding dating that doesn't work that I found out, you know, would have went over well if I would have just done things differently. Like, I found that out through journaling, reflecting, and honestly having candid conversations with me, myself, and I. And in today's video, I am going to be talking about how dating with no direction equals heartbreak. And that is so true and so real. So we're going to get into that in this video. So grab your stuffed animal, grab your pink diary, get yourself a hot piping cup of hibiscus tea or a cool one because I'm currently loving hibiscus tea so much with lemon and sugar, and enjoy the video. But if you don't know me, hi, my name is Tandis and I'm an independent recording artist and a digital creator and an author, and I will be coming out with my children's book soon called Goodbye Caterpillar. And honestly, I'm just hoping that it's going to work out because Amazon said that it takes like 72 hours for them to review it and actually post it on their site. But Goodbye Caterpillar is inspired by a true story. When I was younger, when I befriended a caterpillar and it got sick, and I had to bring it to a tree and allow it to change and let go of you know, wanting to keep him as my friend forever so that it can blossom and bloom. And it's a very touching and beautiful story that not only children but adults would like to read too. And hopefully it'll come out. It's either going to be in the zip file on a site or something like that, or it's going to be on Amazon. I'm just hoping I'm just hoping that Amazon is going to approve it so that I can start promoting it and doing my thing. Also, subscribe to my Substack newsletter and my YouTube channel. And if you subscribe to my Substack newsletter, you will be able to unlock freebies and an ebook inspired by Disney princesses, about skincare inspired by them, because I got creative and made something like that there. And also, I have 3 free coloring sheets inspired by my upcoming book that's I'm going to release soon called Goodbye Little Caterpillar. So if you have someone that loves the color or you like the color, definitely join my newsletter so that you can get your freebies and access exclusive content. Now let's get into the video. When I was younger, like, I'm not gonna lie, you know, I would just be watching Teen Nick, you know, Zoe 101, those things going on. And, you know, when I was a teenager, you know, I had this very cartoony, childlike way of thinking about love. It was basically a way that was so green, it was greener than grass. And, like, how was I supposed to know that men, you know, be lying and pulling away just for sport? Like, I would have not known it. But, you know, the good thing about my life is that I did grow up around classy people, and, you know, my mom's a class act. So basically, I didn't have a clue how men work, and I just thought, like, you know, with that go-getter mentality that I have, just apply it with guys because, like, hey, like, I mean, like, how else are you going to get a guy? Like, that's how I used to think when I was a teenager and stuff like that. And the thing is that that chasing never stopped, because for a long time I always wondered, like, why do men pull away? Sometimes when I chase them and have that go-getter mentality, that's sometimes reminiscent and goofy, of like something out of possibly Disney, possibly. And with being sheltered and girlish and just being me, like it worked with some guys, but sometimes it didn't work out, and then like it made me doubt myself, and it hurt me because it's like, what's going on? Like, I'm a freaking 10. Like, what the freak? But the biggest thing that I learned about dating thus far is that if you are not dating with boundaries or standards or requirements or like a vision, then you are bound to having some sort of heartbreak. And the thing is that like if you're not like taking your time and not getting super like happy and giddy about a guy, but if you're like taking your time to get to know someone and their character and their personality, and how like good they actually could possibly be, then you're going to be like heartbroken. So it's so important to have those boundaries, standards, and requirements while dating, and like to take your time. And like if you have emotional problems that's going on, especially when it comes to dating or past breakups and unhealed things, it's so important to bring out your pink diary, like mine that I got from Amazon. This is my second one. And journal out the heartbreak, journal out the things, and be a person, and put everything out there in your diary and doodle your heart away, scrapbook the tears away about things, and give yourself closure so that you can start dating with a clear head. And also it's really good to be grounded too, and that's another reason why I really love journaling, because it helps me be really grounded, because like I lived a lot of my life with the la la land thinking, the fantasy thinking, and not seeing clearly. I remember there was a SpongeBob episode where his eyes like shot out, and it was like doo, 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 doo. Like that used to be me. Like that used to be me a lot when it came to guys, until I, calmed myself down and brought myself to a level. I brought myself, like it used to be all around. Oh wait. Anyway, I used to bring myself all the way up there until I started grounding myself and bringing myself to a level so that I could actually see people for who they truly are. And hey, when you see people for who they truly are, it lessens the heartbreak. And when you have standards and guardrails, basically, to protect your heart while talking to any man, it can truly help you. It can truly help you. And when it comes to any other emotional problems outside of that, it is good to, journal about it so that you can regulate your emotions, and you can heal from your problems that you're going through, and show up as your best self when you're talking to guys and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And like if you don't, you're going to end up in a situationship. Like if you don't have guardrails and standards, and you're not like aware, even if you want something short term and sexual with someone, you want a connection, like how people said on Love Island, because they would never say like a relationship or a situationship. They would call it a connection because it sounds more fancier and more refined, but it's just situationship. It's short for situationship. So like even if you want something like short term, like don't get into a situationship. Don't do that. But even if you want to, and I've never been in a situationship, but I'm just saying though, like don't get in no type of situation. Like there's no such thing as a situation going on. But what I'm trying to say is that if you're trying to date someone, you should definitely have the guardrails on your heart. And, you know, be on the level, so that you ground your mind, diaries, and stuff like that, so that you be aware of yourself, be aware of who you are, so that you can ground yourself and date and see people for who they are as you're dating and seeing them. And make a sound decision based on high self-worth, high self-esteem, and high confidence, and high faith in God, high faith in yourself, to do better and stuff like that. And like make sure that like you're, making a good decision based on self love, so that you're not dating someone that wastes your time and stuff like that. And the thing is about dating in life, even with the whole naive, childlike mindset that a lot of women have, and, how I had at one point, yes, people may find it cute, but even God say, like, what did he say again? He said something about the wolves in sheep's clothing. Okay, I'm not going to quote that scripture, whatever. But, and, I'm not a religious channel. I'm just like I'm letting my personality come through, on camera. But, men are greedy people. And, in this life, you cannot afford to be naive. You cannot afford that. And, you must be wise. And you must be self-aware and learn to have this discernment and be a critical thinker while dating men. Be real critical to yourself. Like you can date, talk, and then after, click, really think to yourself with your diary. Do I really want this man? And like, do the vetting, ask these questions to yourself, and make a sound decision based on self-worth. Based on high self-worth and high confidence. And this is honestly the truth. This is honestly like, that's on period, you know what I mean? And also briefly, I would like to talk about my list that I came up when it comes to like overcoming this part of dating and finding yourself and navigating the dating world for women like me and women like you. And basically, for sheltered girls, what you need to know when it comes to dating is that you should have your love list, write down your standards, your boundaries, and a basic idea of what you want, how you want to be treated by a man, so that when you're dating, you can remind yourself of this, and if you're not getting this, you X them out. Also, practice self-awareness and be aware of yourself, give yourself compassion, and be honest about who you are and where you're at right now, and let go of things that you have no control over as well. And last but not least, have faith in yourself. Especially when it comes to like overcoming the cringy moments, the moments where you gave somebody a late night call and it was by a mistake, but like you did it, and also like what else? Yeah, like when you double text that guy by a mistake, like you didn't want to, but you did, You gotta have faith in yourself and also pray things over, like just, but have accountability. Like not just praying, but accountability and responsibility for your womb. Like, because on this channel, like, yes, I may be for the gags and giggles a lot on my channel, being silly and, all doodly like me. But like, in reality, I am very responsible and very accountable. So, like, yeah, be that too. When it comes to my pink diary reflections, one thing that I learned is that you should never date a man that don't like your whole personality. If you feel like you have to hide parts of your personality to get a guy to like you, he's not your guy. You are dating someone who's not aligned. And if you're dating someone and you feel bad about yourself and they make you think bad about yourself, then you should actually write that down and then rework into something positive and say bye-bye to that guy because he's not the type. He's not the one for you. Like, do better in your life. So what is the moral of the story and the clincher to this YouTube video is that honestly, you should never date someone that doesn't like you for you. And remember that rejection is only your protection. Like, don't be doing nothing irresponsible with yourself as a woman because you have a lot to lose, you know, in general in life. Like when it comes to your peace of mind, like that in itself is a lot to lose. And you don't want to be caught up with a man that has a lot of red flags. You don't. Chasing men messes with your dignity, and all you got is your dignity and self-respect as a woman at the end of the day. So don't do that, and remember to be the honey, not the bee. You know, the men are the bees. Like, what? But anyways, you know, this is pretty much the end of this video, and I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you really enjoyed it, subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the bell notification. And, you know, doodly do, you know what I mean? Doodle on doodle. So, yeah. I hope y'all actually subscribe, like, really subscribe. Like, super subscribe to my channel, please. Anyway. But I'm done with the conversation, the talk, the gags and giggles. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Adios, amigos. Also, please go check out my covers from my from my YouTube channel. Like, I like singing in French. Er venait d'avoir 18 ans, il était beau comme un enfant fort comme un homme. C'était évidemment, et j'ai compté le vaillant. Like, you know, I love singing in French, and you know, that was the lead song, Il venait d'avoir 18 ans. So, yeah. So, enjoy that cover, enjoy the other covers, too, and you know, one of these days, I will be coming out with music. One of these days, but not right now, but one of these days. Adios, amigos!